Welcome to Timeless Takeover, your no BS guide to lasting anti-aging and longevity solutions. Hosted by Marissa Parchman, founder of Timeless Skin and Wellness, this is your exclusive source for honest anti-aging solutions and elevated wellness. We offer a full-scope approach to beauty and vitality because at Timeless, we believe aging is optional. Serving discerning clients across Denver Metro and Northern Colorado, your transformation begins here.
Detoxing is one of the most misunderstood concepts in wellness, but its true meaning goes far beyond juice cleanses and quick fixes. Welcome, everyone. I'm Julie Schwenzer, co-host and producer with Marissa Parchman, the founder of Timeless Skin and Wellness. Marissa, it's great to speak with you again, as always.
Hello, Julie. Yes, thank you for the introduction. It's always so good to see you.
Yeah, we love talking to you. So what does the word detox mean to you?
Yes, the word detox means a lot of things to me. It is something that I truly live my life by, the word detox. It's so much more than a juice cleanse. It's so much more than buying something that you see on the internet and practicing that for several days. While something like that can be very beneficial to the system, the word detox is so underrated. And I think the biggest problem is that people are, once again, uneducated on not only the word, but the fact that our detox system is an entire biological system. Like, it is its own system in our body. We are literally one big detox system. We all use the restroom every day. We all blow our nose. We all have earwax. These are things that we are doing constantly all the time. When our body does not have the ability to properly detox, then terrible things happen to the system. So, to me, the word detox is something that unfortunately we are not raised as a culture to practice detoxing. And my mission in life is to just make sure that I can influence the people around me and hopefully change one life here and one life there and help people understand that the word detox is something that is going to keep us healthy. Understanding that our detox systems need to be supported just like every other system in our body. And it really is the most important system. So adopting detoxing as a lifestyle rather than something we might do during the week and then, we kind of do whatever we want on the weekends. Like, that is actually, a better practice than most people. But the people around me are often saying, "Oh, I'm going to do a detox." And that means they're going to buy something expensive. It's going to come in the mail and they're only going to consume that for 4 or 5 days. And typically, whatever that is free of toxins, whether it's a juice cleanse or whether it's soups and bone broths and things like that. The idea is to remove all the toxins. So imagine if we did that more than just a fad diet. Imagine if we all lived our lives by this word detox and just completely made that the number one focus and the number one system that we supported. And if we did that, I promise everybody would be able to take control of their health and reduce chronic pain, reduce chronic conditions, reduce skin conditions, and overall just thrive metabolically.
And you've touched on this in previous episodes, which we really appreciate. And you've talked about detoxing the mind and the body and different ways to do that. Could you please expand on that and the big difference there?
Yeah, absolutely. This can go so deep. And honestly, it's something that I am learning more and more about. And I really want to practice what I preach. And for me, some things that I'm doing right now are stepping away from certain social media accounts and reading more books. I love to learn and I love to listen to books. I listen to a lot of books, and I'm the first person to make an excuse for why I don't have time to sit down and relax and read a book. But one thing I am trying to practice more and just, take my mental health to the next level and take my health to the next level is really practicing eliminating toxins in all areas. And that is eliminating toxic people, eliminating toxic patterns, eliminating toxic food. And that doesn't mean we can't have exceptions. And that doesn't mean that we can't have days that we treat ourselves to whatever that may be. But it really is something that should be practiced from multiple angles of life to get to a point that we're truly free of toxins, and not only food toxins, but cortisol. Cortisol is a serious, serious toxin. When the body is in fight or flight, when the body is full of anxiety, when the body is just running on caffeine and anxiety, then that alone is enough toxins on a daily basis to create illness in the system. So, I guess my point is for me, I'm getting to a point that I'm really trying to understand this and learn this. And a good example that I heard is the person that has chronic pain, but has done all the detoxing and has done all the things and really has done 100% of the textbook things to reverse all of the diagnosis, or chronic pain is a huge one. But my point is this often can be kept in the system emotionally, and you can have emotional and physical trauma that is kept in the system, that is stuck in there. And the best way to detox that is, one, probably find a practitioner that specializes in that, but also just to understand that you have to look at from all of these different perspectives. You know, you can't be running on cortisol and not consuming the toxins and then wonder why your system is imbalanced. So sorry if that was a little bit of a run on, but for me, it's kind of like it all of a sudden clicked. I all of a sudden was like, wow, these things don't serve me. These social accounts don't serve me. This food doesn't serve me. Not working out doesn't serve me. So getting to a place that everything that you do is surrounded by the intention of making sure that your own mental health is stable, that's a really remarkable place to be. And it takes time, it takes consistency, it takes commitment, it takes getting uncomfortable. But really, the first step is controlling what you can control and taking the toxins out of your everyday lifestyle. And the easiest way to do that is to control the food that you're consuming, control the alcohol that you're consuming, control the water intake, control getting vitamin D in sun exposure, control working out every day. And again, sometimes this is easier said than done. So doing it one step at a time and making sure that we are doing things that are realistic for us and not something that we see on the internet and we're like, "Oh my god, I'm going to do all these things that this person talks about, that this, influencer talks about." It can be very overwhelming. And why is it overwhelming? Because we're not that person. Understanding that we need to do what's right for us, make the changes for us. And when you surround every thought surrounds you and being selfish with your mindset and everything about how you live your life and your day to day, it's a really remarkable place to be. And we
And
all need to be more selfish.
and that's interesting what you said too. It's like comparing yourself to others, and that just seems to add to the stress that's impacting our ability to detox.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great
Absolutely.
point.
And the biggest thing is understanding what clogs our detox pathways. Our entire system is a detox system. So when we get to a point that we have skin conditions or hormone issues or whatever sign our body is telling us that our system is imbalanced, that's a sign. That's a sign that we need to take a step back, look at whatever is negative in our life. I can't tell you how many stories I have heard or clients that I've dealt with that have such terrible acne or a crazy flare up and it's just stress. But that stress could be a very toxic relationship that you're going home to on a daily basis. You could be juicing every day and not consuming any toxins, but you're literally operating on cortisol and anxiety, and toxic relationships and toxic lifestyles are more than just the food you're consuming. So, yeah, it's huge.
And could you share with us an example, one or two, about some advice you've given to clients or even, people, associates and friends about making these simple shifts in their life to support detox without what are the first steps that they can take if they want to make these changes that might be more manageable for them, because sometimes, a big change can be scary.
Yes, change is very scary and it's very overwhelming. I really do try to make things as simple as possible for my clients. And sometimes it's not simple because the system is so out of whack that it requires a lot of things. But for the masses, I think a lot of it is the obvious. A lot of it is not keeping things in your house that are going to be triggers for you, especially in foods. I will eat all the sugar that is around. If it is around, I'm going to eat it. Sometimes I'm a little stronger than others, but you get me around my cycle and I'm probably going to eat everything. And for those reasons, I do not keep it in my house. I keep fresh juice in my house. I keep fruit in my house. I keep honey in my house. And that's a choice. It is a choice to put certain things in your house and then be like, I'm going to do whatever I want when I'm not in my house. That's a step to saying, maybe I'm going to eat the vending machine when I'm at work. I don't have a vending machine at work, but just thinking of, somebody, the average person, maybe that person is going to just stop putting sugar in their house and make those changes. Another big thing is fragrances. Like when you think of all the chemicals and all of the things that we should probably not be exposed to, the number one thing that I preach to people is is fragrance. With that said, I see a lot of people with hormone imbalances, and we are just kind of the age of hormone imbalance. We have so many women that are struggling with fertility issues. We have men and women with acne well into their 40s and sometimes their 50s. That's a hormone imbalance and toxicity to the system that could be causing that hormone imbalance. It's a huge problem. We really are the age of hormone issues. And one of the biggest endocrine disruptors that we are exposed to is fragrances. So instead of trying to learn and understand all of these different chemicals and toxins that we're exposed to that are affecting our system, the number one thing I start with is fragrance. We do not need to be washing our clothes with something that has fragrance. We do not need to be spraying ourselves with something every day to make ourselves smell good, but it's a fake artificial fragrance that then we are smelling all day long and it is affecting our body's ability to regulate our hormones. Car fragrances, shampoo and conditioner. Sometimes it's hard to fully eliminate. I am probably the most loose with my shampoo and conditioner. But in general, I don't use perfumes and fragrances on my body unless it's a natural essential oil. I don't put fragrances in my car. I'm careful with what I clean with on a regular basis. Sometimes do I do a deep clean and use something that's not quite as clean as the things I'm cleaning with on a daily basis? Absolutely. I have animals, so I'm very aware of that. But the biggest thing is fragrance. It's in everything. We're exposed to it on a daily basis. We can't fully escape it. So control what we can control and just educate yourself on one or two ingredients that you're going to fully step away from. And it's really eye opening. And then if you're taking and dedicating, making a commitment to one ingredient, I promise you're just going to naturally eliminate so many other toxic ingredients. Why? Because fragrance is in everything. Candles, that's another one. Candles, body lotions, things like that. Oh, it's stressing me out, but it's a huge problem. Fake fragrances are messing up all of our hormones.
Well, thank you so much for that advice. And I know we're going to continue to talk about this detoxing topic in our next episode. But Marissa, as always, you've been so helpful and we always appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Julie. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Invest in the best version of yourself. Call us today at 303-800-1821 or visit timelesssandw.com to schedule a consultation. Discover what it means to age with intention and elegance.